Hey guys, welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. It's been a long time since I played this. There's been a lot of updates. I do still have my original save, but I'm going to actually start a new career because I wanted to mess around with the career stuff, basically. What do we got for flag? Let's choose a better flag here. I should make a flag, really. I just have not taken the time to do so. I guess we'll go with that one. Sure. Career mode, boom. So I haven't really messed around with the science stuff at all. I do still have a bunch of mods installed. I've updated. One of the reasons I'm not abandoning my other save, but one of the reasons that I'm starting a new save is just because it got kind of screwed up with all the updates that have occurred to things. So I guess we're just gonna start out with a really basic rocket. We don't have a lot of parts available. It's weird. It's like the really old days of Kerbal Space Program. Now I do have a Deadly Reentry. I don't know if these are from Deadly Reentry. I assume they probably are. These would need to be available like right away, but we don't need them because I don't think we're going to be getting very high up right now. We will be needing a parachute, however. That's all we have. I don't think we're probably going to be able to really transmit much either, so I'm not going to bother with that because we're not going to get that high, I assume. So basically, I haven't really messed around with the science stuff. Let's add a second. Oh, I don't know. I might be pushing it. We don't get decouplers yet. I haven't really messed around with all the science stuff. Well, we'll try this. If we kill a Kerbal, we kill a Kerbal, I guess. What shall we call this? I'm just going to call it the X1, I think. I don't feel like naming things today. So let's go ahead and see what this thing can do. Probably not that much. I have MechJeb installed, I have Remote Tech, Deadly Reentry, a bunch of parts packs like the Cosmos Space Station and KW Rocketry and stuff. So it looks like they're all fairly well integrated into the tech tree now, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Where do we want to head with this? I mean, this red spot means that this is a command center for Remote Tech, and then we have Kethane. Let's go ahead and turn off the grid because that's annoying right now. Definitely don't need that at this moment. Let's just shove that down in the corner there. So, I don't know. Like, I guess different biomes yield different different knowledge from science. So, I think we'll just head off. I messed up my staging. Well, you know what? We're not going to cheat the system here. Let's just see if we can survive this. This is going to be a lot of weight on this thing. But we do have the rocket. I'm not going to cheat the system. Let's get a crew report and we'll keep that data. Alright. Got a little overeager with my, whatchamacallit. I can't save at this point. Why can I not save? Do I have the throttle up still? Yeah. Got a little overeager. Didn't really look at my staging there. Rookie mistake. Like I said, it's been a while though. So let's go ahead and get whatever knowledge we can get recovered from that thing. Oh, that's actually more than I would have thought. So, there you go. Success. We probably unlock some stuff, I think. Let's take a look. Yeah, 5 science. What is? Oh, this unlocks a bunch of crap. A whole bunch of different fuel tanks. A decoupler. Well, that ought to make life a lot better. So, we're going to start needing some pretty decent amounts of science to get to this stuff. 18, 15. Alright, well, we can do it. We can do it. So I'm not really going to add anything to this except perhaps a decoupler. I am going to, now that we have decouplers, I am going to add a decoupler. Because that's crazy not having a decoupler. So, engine fire. Why is it all staged correctly now? What have you done to me, game? We'll call this the X1A. It's showing all being staged correctly. I don't know what the hell that was about. For whatever reason, it fixed itself. Alright, we got that ready to go. Let's not go all the way up with the throttle. Let's see what we can get out of this thing. Like I said, I'm going to try to head over towards these mountains, I think. And I'm trying to not waste fuel here by going too fast. I don't know exactly what the speeds are, but I do know we're going pretty darn fast considering. might end up in the ocean here, actually. I'm gonna get some pretty decent altitude. This thing's not that heavy. I'm pretty sure we're wasting fuel. I don't know. But, let's get a crew report, shall we? Got nothing. It's the same thing as before. So I believe it's a wise idea to get out of the ship at every time we complete one of these, so that we can pick up our ground samples and whatnot too, because those are actually worth something. Alright, so we're just coasting now. Anything new in the crew report? Nope. Well, we can ditch that and let that be. Oh, this is relaxing, isn't it? Good old Jebediah. Let's turn off the SAS so this thing will kind of fall the way that it's meant to. I didn't bother, like I said, with the heat shield because I didn't anticipate really getting high enough. I don't think this thing, like the built-in heat shield on here, actually counts as a heat shield by deadly reentry standards. We didn't get as far as I thought we would, to be honest. Well, no bother. I wish I had the radial decouplers. It's ridiculous that the couplers are not there at the beginning. I understand why, because they want you to have to work some stuff out, but I'm liking this. It feels good. Like, I had a lot of legacy parts in my old save that made it really hard for me to keep up to date with things, because some of them were just not updated anymore. They were kind of dead mods. So this should make things a little bit simpler going forward until they decide to break the game again. Hopefully they're getting sort of close to finishing development. I mean, obviously there's still stuff I'd like to see added, but it is hard to play this game and build a lot of stuff and then have it all just be kind of for naught because the updates break things. That's what happens when you play a game before it comes out, but I mean, even though this has been like 4 years now, or 3 years, still a lot of changes going on. I like watching stuff explode too. This should be good. Not the most encouraging thing to be landing right on top of that thing while it's blowing up. Good thing it's out of fuel. Some of it survived. No, it didn't. Yes, it did. Good. Starting our debris field already. That's good. Let's go ahead and time warp down closer to the ground. I don't like to use the physical time warp because it tends to break stuff, but this is just a pod, so I doubt it will, and we'll just slow time down again once we get closer. So we're going to get out, do a report. Do we have a new crew report here? We do. Let's keep that crew report. What did that even say? I didn't even read it. It's coming in kind of speedy, this parachute. Alright. Where's my hatch? Isn't that the hatch? Why are you... What is the problem here, crew hatch? There we go. Man, I don't even know how they get in there. Alright, so let's go ahead and do an EVA report. We can transmit this thing? No, I didn't think we could. Yep, looks like dirt. Cool. And EVA report. Yes, it overwrite it, and there we go. So let's get him back inside, just so I only have to end one flight. Get back. I keep forgetting to not have the throttle up. So we can go unlock some more science now. It all goes so... actually, I have to go collect the thing too. Like I said, rookie at this. So let's go ahead and recover. That was decent. Not terrible. I'm not trying to do like one of those crazy people who gets like 250, 350 science in one go here. That's not really the objective, but just trying to do this in a reasonable progression here. So what do we got here? We do general rocketry. That's a bunch of solid rocket boosters and what have you. Wildcat engines, Sepatrons. There's the radial decoupler is probably the way to go. I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm thinking we're gonna go with the radial decoupler. I can afford that, right? Yeah, I have 19. I believe that is what I want. So let's build a slightly more elaborate rocket. I think we're gonna base it off of this one still, actually. So we'll call it the X1B. And let's get some of them radial decouplers. Now this thing's gonna end up, if I put 3 solid rocket boosters on this thing, it's just gonna burn up in the atmosphere, is what's gonna happen. How big is that? Oh, that's teensy tiny. Cool. Well, what is this? This is a expendable. That thing is a little bigger than what I think is wise to put on here. Well, let's just do something kind of simple. And we still only have the 1 engine. I think we're just gonna do 3 of these. Actually, do we have any aerodynamic cones yet? We have parachutes, I know. You know what? We're gonna pretend like we actually need to recover this stuff. So that looks stupid though. That's way too small. Well, we're not gonna pretend we have to recover this because I don't want to put the stupid little tiny nose cone on. So we're gonna do that, and let's put on 3 times symmetry. And for this one, since we're going to be going a little bit higher, I am going to put a goo. No, I didn't even realize we had the goo things yet. Put a goo thing on, and these have to come back, don't they? I believe they do. We have structural parts. We do. I don't know that I don't have enough parachute power to do this. We're not putting the goo containers. We'll put like 1 on, maybe. Because I don't think I have the structure. Well, we'll do 2. We'll see what happens. If it can land with the main rocket, it can probably do this. Maybe. Alright, so let's check our staging. All engines are good, good. I want that to actually fire. I think... maybe, actually, let's just leave it like that. That actually probably is good. So, see what happens here. Get a suborbital. Well, I guess they're all been suborbital so far, the flights, but a more suborbital. Alright, let's expose the goo. No. We'll keep that data. It's worth more keeping it. Aggressive I want to be with my gravity turn, but I'm going to be kind of aggressive with it. I haven't flown these things manually in a while. It feels kind of good. I'll throttle down just a little bit. And we're going to be running out of fuel in a minute, so I'll hit the throttle so that the main engine's good to go. Let's see what we get out of this thing. How are we doing? Done better, done worse. At least go into space here. This is possibly dangerous, though, because of deadly re-entry. So let's call that good. How much fuel's left? Not a ton, but we can probably extend our orbit out a little. Or not orbit, but our trajectory here just a little bit. Still nada. Let's wait until we actually get out of the atmosphere to take a look at the goo again. I'm gonna get facing the horizon. Get this thing going. So let's get our fuel up so we can actually see what the heck's going on here. Do a little time warping. I'm scared about doing the deadly reentry. I haven't actually messed with deadly reentry yet. So that's a little nerve-wracking just because I don't know. I didn't put a real heat shield on this thing. Uh-oh. I just realized that. I don't think the heat shield on this thing counts as a real heat shield either. That's going to be an issue. Well, I guess it was nice knowing this guy. He's kind of screwed, isn't he? Just shallow this out as much as I can. I'm burning. I'm burning. I think we just ran out of juice too. Well, problematic. But Let's go ahead and observe the mystery goo. And I'm going to be optimistic and try to keep the data. You gotta hope for the best, don't you? Oh god, this thing really friggin' spins if you don't have the SAS on when you're trying to go. Yeah, this doesn't say anything about having a heat shield. I think this is gonna be a bad day. In my opinion, this is gonna be a very bad day. We'll see. And we're still throttled up. I always forget that. I'm sorry, Jebediah. I think you're screwed, man. I don't think I can transmit this either. Do I have electrical charge? Review the data. Inoperable after transmitting. You know what? I think we'll keep it. Like I said, we'll be optimistic. But I do think this is going to be terrible. This thing has no protection. Why didn't I think of that? I'm not experienced with deadly reentry, so that's why. Is this thing heating up yet? No, it's still pretty cool. We'll just have to keep an eye. Yeah, it's starting to heat up now. I don't know what its thermal limit is. I guess we'll find out. That is unfortunate. Oh yeah, it's almost up to 0 degrees now. We haven't even hit the thick part of the atmosphere yet. Jebediah! Oh no. You're in so much trouble, man. Is this thing trying to tumble too? Or are we just on a really steep... Yeah, we're on a fairly steep angle. That's not necessarily good. Oh dear God. No! Come on. Actually... Oh no, it's dropping. We made it. I think we made it. That was relatively peaceful. Huh. We weren't at any crazy orbital speeds, but I didn't think there was a chance. Cool beans, man. Jebediah, you are the best. That wasn't even that exciting. I expected that to be much more horrific than it was. I'm not gonna complain. Alright, let's pull the chute. Slow this puppy down. Where's that landing? That didn't burn up either. Oh, cool beans, man. Oh man, look at that thing go. Not gonna have any debris left from that one, I don't think. At least we know exactly how high we are. Oh, let's slow it down, slow it down. Did my parachute break? Why did... I should not have been time warping is probably the... I think it snapped off because of the goo containers, actually. Well, let's head back to the Space Center. Sorry, Jebediah. Is he going to be listed as on the wall now? Yep. Oh, poor Jebediah. Does it cost anything to recruit? No, it doesn't cost anything to recruit yet. They don't have the economy. Let's go ahead and recruit some people because we are probably going to need them. So, we got to rethink some things here. I don't have those other parachutes, so basically that's out of the question to do that. So, what could we do? What could we do? Put some radial decouplers on. I mean, I want all that juicy science. What we could do, something along the lines of this. But I don't think there's any way to really attach a parachute to this, is there? Because I don't have the radial parachute, so we'd have to add like one of the cubes on top or something. It's gonna be ugly too. I don't think there's a way to do this with the parts I have. At least not a good way. I mean, I could attach those to the boosters, but the boosters are gonna despawn beforehand. Yeah, there's not really a way to do that. So, I guess we'll just have to make do with a regular old suborbital flight, but I am going to put an antenna on this time. Oh, we could transmit it back and just eject the stuff. Yeah, I mean, that's better than nothing, I suppose. Let's do that. Put the antenna right there. And a couple goo containers. Yeah, we'll just do that. Assuming... I don't know if I'm going to have electrical charge for that, but we have all the engines going and stuff. It'll hopefully work out. If not, we just wasted some goo containers, which are still free, so it doesn't really matter. What was the other design flaw with this? Let's go ahead and put a real heat shield on here, too. Alright, everything's still looking correct. I believe so. So, boom, boom. The real heat shield just it wasn't needed that time, but it will make me feel better. Alrighty, let's try that again. Don't you worry, Bill. Don't pay any attention to what happened to poor Jebediah. That was a fluke. Early days of space travel are rough. I don't really understand why we start out with manned space travel rather than probes, but whatever. I guess Kerbals don't really value life quite as much as humans do, because you would think you would test this stuff with unmanned ships, but it's just not possible. So if they could do that in like freaking Nazi Germany, have unmanned rockets, you'd think we'd be able to do it, but nope. That is not the case. I'd actually like to stage that with that. Let's check out our flight. I should probably be exposing the goo right now, in fact. Sort of the mystery goo. Transmit! There is a comm device. Where are you, comm device? I should have set up an action group. Now I can't see you. Where did I put that? This is screwing me up, man. Let's stop the engines for a second here. There it is. Activate. And transmit. Yes. We're not getting a lot of science out of this, unfortunately. And I don't think it even finished transmitting it because I think it ran out of power. Why am I not able to steer all of a sudden? There we go. Just need a little more thrust, I guess. Let's stop that. Head towards the horizon. How high are we going? Not high enough. Go. Go into space, little Kerbal. We didn't make it to space that time because I was all distracted by the antennas. Well, that's fantastic. Probably out of electrical charge. Transmit whatever you can. And transmit. Damn it! We're not going to get any of that stuff. So, let's go ahead and turn this off. Ditch that. That was a relatively disappointing thing. And now we're out of power, so we can't turn this. So it's just going to be up to the whims of air how this comes back down. No torque available. That must have been what happened before, is I ran out of torque. That's why I couldn't turn. I keep forgetting about these things. Like, just used to having batteries available and solar panels and never having power issues. It's kind of rough. So what does it say here? Decouple ablate. Okay, there's the ablative stuff. So we know we're good, even though we're coming in not nearly as quick now. It's not going to be an issue. I bet most of this will probably even survive the impact, but... Well, actually, no, we're landing in the ocean, so there's not a chance. Is it peaceful in there? Kinda. Not too bad. Looks like we do have power, though. Definitely have lights on and stuff. This is going to be a long trip back into the atmosphere. I really do need those radial decouplers. I mean, the radial parachutes, too. It's not good. I don't know why, but I really enjoy watching stuff tumble and fall in this game. I really enjoy the re-entry effects. I remember when they added those. It was like the coolest thing ever. Alright. we're not even gonna really have to deal with them this time. That heat shield was largely unnecessary. Why is it depleting so fast? It's not that hot, man. Did that thing break up on the way down? It looks like it did. Something must have blown up on it or something. Well, that's cool. Deadly reentry is going to make things a lot more interesting. It's going to be hard when I get to planets, other planets with atmospheres, because I won't know what to expect. I guess that's why we send a probe first. Alright, we're going slow enough. Let's pop that. I love that, the heat shield flying away with the parrot. That's awesome. That is sweet, man. Alright. Please don't snap my parachute off. So, let's go ahead and stop at like 700. Oh, stop. Okay. It was the goo container. I might have been able to get away with one of those goo containers, but not two. Well, maybe that's the thing to do, is put one on here. Alright, let's get into the water, man. This takes so long. It's always a careful balancing act. Sometimes not so careful between being lazy about wanting to just get stuff done and being safe. I guess that's true in real life too. That is how things work. Let's go ahead and cut the throttle. Space Center. Alright, so I didn't collect my science. Keep forgetting. We gotta rethink this thing because it's just not quite working out. Okay, let's go ahead and recover that. How much science do we get out of it? 6. Well, better than nothing, to be sure. So, I'm worried about accelerating fast enough that I'm going to burn up on the way out of the atmosphere with the solid rocket boosters. They are dangerous because there's no throttle on it. I'm going to have to give this some thought. Let's see. How much thrust? 149 versus 250. These are more reasonable, but I don't know. Let's do a multi-stage thing here. Let's just go for it, man. Even though we don't have the parachutes to really deal with some of the consequences of this, but actually that's a bad idea because I don't have the parachute to deal with it, so there's really no point. Let's just go ahead and take this a little conservative, like. It's gonna be ugly. This thing is gonna be ridiculously ugly. Maybe I should add a third fuel pod here. We'll just do 2 of these. See what we get out of it. I don't have clamps even to hold this up, so we might actually want to add. What is this? This is that's more reasonable, I suppose. Let's see what we get out of this thing. So we'll call this C, save, and I want to put that in an action group really so I can activate it. So custom 1, and come on. These things are so hard to pick up. There we go. Action group is good. Okay, so solid rocket boosters. Boom. That go, disconnect, cool. I think everything's good. Let's go ahead and add 1 goo container, see if we can get back with that. It's gonna put the whole thing off balance though if I just do 1. Darn it. I don't really know a good way to place this so that. Well, hopefully the SAS will just be able to counteract that. How much do these things weigh? Oh, they're not that heavy. They're not that heavy. It probably can. Alright, so we're just going straight up until the solid rockets run out. I'm not going to do a lot of thrust with the main engine. Everything looks good. Yeah, that's a little speedy. In fact, I'm going to cut the main engine. It's actually not too bad. I take it back. These work out just fine. They're well scaled. These are probably easier to use than the stock ones. Let's start heading. It is a little bit harder to turn. Got more mass now. I might have needed an extra one of those, actually, looking at it. Doing my gravity turn a little too early here. Come on, pull up. Anything good on the crew report? Keep it. I'm just gonna go, oh god, we're kind of losing a little bit of control here. I'm gonna go about as high as I can. That's all I'm gonna do. Come on, get this thing under control, Rocket. That stupid pod is throwing everything off. Yep, she's unstable. She's unstable. Alright, so what are we looking at? Let's get our transmitter transmitting. And transmit that bad boy. And deactivate the comms again. We're out of electricity anyway. So, how high did we get? Less, I mean the same as last time. It's that whole thing, you add more fuel. I need more solid rocket booster. That's what we're going to have to do. So, let's get up to our highest altitude, I guess, and we'll expose the goo. We bring the goo back this time. We might be getting close to having enough to unlock the radial parachutes and making things a lot easier. We're not even going to leave the atmosphere this time. But let's expose the goo. And we will keep that data. Alright, fingers crossed. We're on our way down. Let's ditch the main section here. Turn off the SAS so the slipstream can pull us in. Oh, man. It's not like... It's fun going back to the career mode, but after having played this game in sandbox mode for years, it's like so limiting. Especially with, you know, I have a lot of mods always installed. It's very limiting how much stuff I actually have available here. Now, hopefully this isn't going to rock things so much that the panel, the heat shield, gets pulled out of alignment too much and burns this thing off or something. I should have probably put it up a little higher so that it'd be shielded more, but I didn't. Oh man, we're dropping like almost straight down again. These are definitely steep angles. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Is that thing heating up? Can't tell. We're not gonna really. Yeah, it is burning up a little bit, isn't it? Held together though. Now hopefully the parachute's gonna hold together this time. When we get down to like 300 meters per second, I'll pull the chute. Try to make it as unshocking as possible here. Yeah, it's actually going down fairly even. That's good. And I'm not going to use the time warp. I'm going to resist the urge to use the time warp because it's just going to break things. So we can use it to, let's go to like sub 1000 with it, and then we'll call it good because got to slow down before the chute pulls. And it looks like it's holding together. It is holding together. Yay! I don't know. I think it might have been the time warp. It wasn't the weight of the goo, because that's coming down almost even too. I do think that had more to do with the time warp than it did with the goo container. But we successfully landed some science. Let's go see if we can actually unlock anything new here. I wish there was an easier way to recover. Maybe there is, but it seems like you have to go into the mission control every time. So we picked up 16. That's more than enough. That should be plenty. Alright, so the parachutes are here under survivability. Let's go ahead and research that. I only have one science left again. So our goal, I guess, is going to be that. Actually, let's see what they have. Is this flight control, general construction? That's where all the kethane stuff starts coming in. Struts. Well, that's good to know. That's a lot of stuff, though. What is that? Radio for action groups transmits and receives commands between radios. Huh. I don't know. That's from one of the mods. I'm not sure which one. Alright, so let's rethink this yet again now that we have bigger parachutes. So we can... let's add 2 goo containers this time. And I think what we're going to do is... add... no, I actually did want that. Let's do that. There's going to be more than enough parachutes, but whatever. So we got all that good. Let's go ahead and just add a bunch of these. See how that goes. Save. Everything's firing. Cool. And what is this? This is the fuel sensor and action group triggered. This action. Watch it. Huh. Oh, I'll learn about that stuff. I don't know all the parts that I have installed, so that's going to take a little bit of learning. Alright. I wish I'd assigned somebody else. I don't feel like doing it myself, though. So, I guess let's go for it. This thing is loud. Not gonna lie. Those boosters burn out pretty quick. Also not gonna lie about that one. So look, I think I made my gravity turn way too early last time, so let's go ahead and observe what we're doing here. Get this up higher, start making a turn. Push that bad boy up there. It's more stable now. It's definitely not rocking around quite so much. It's funny how much even like a small amount of weight being off center can really screw you up, especially towards the top, because the thrust is coming from the bottom, obviously, and kind of makes things worse. Alright, we're going to get some good distance out of this one, at least, I think. How much fuel's left? I say. It's hard to transmit everything. I would like to be doing experiments now, but it's hard to control the rocket and do experiments and do everything. Like, it's a bit much. I guess you can set up action groups and stuff, but it's a bit much in my opinion. Alright, so we're just gonna go to 75 or so if we can here. Call that good. We have a tiny bit of fuel where we're going to do an extra burn. So let's get our antenna deployed. Let's do a crew report. That's a worthless crew report. Let's get the antenna undeployed then, because I think it uses electricity the whole time it's deployed. Now, I guess we'll hold on to this stuff just for now. I don't know why. Turn that off. Let's warp up into actual space. Actually, let's expose the goo for... well, we'll expose the goo during re-entry, see what it says. Alright, so we are officially out of the atmosphere. Excellent. So, let's go ahead and crew report. Keep report. I don't think I'm going to transmit anything, honestly. And we'll keep that. And cool. So let's ditch that section and warp until we start going in the atmosphere again. And we just started going in the atmosphere again. So once we actually get into like re-entry here, I'm going to expose the other goo container when it gets up to a good temperature. Come on, man. I don't know when we're going to actually hit speeds that count as re-entry here. I guess that thing will be like my little probe guiding the way, because that's going faster than we are slightly. Alright, what are we looking at for temperatures down here? Yeah, it's warm. I don't think it's going to get super hot again. Oh, there we go. Expose. That's not worth all that much, but keep it. I wonder if I expose it to the water, what it will do. That's a good question. That is a very good question. So this should have no problem slowing down now. I just realized he's trapped in there. I put the parachute right over the hatch, didn't I? Oh well. You don't need to get out. We're not going for a swim. I will have to fix that, though. It is slightly problematic. Alrighty. Slow her down. Let's go ahead and reset the goo canister. I wonder if it says anything more. We're just floating here. Yeah, that's worth more. We'll recover it. Got another crew report here. We shall keep that report. Well, this was a little bit more successful of a mission. I think we're actually going to get a fair amount of science out of this one. So that's good. Oh man, with all these parachutes, this thing's barely even moving. But I wanted to be safe. And I don't like putting asymmetrical parachutes on because the thing falls stupid then. And that's kind of a problem with deadly re-entry. Alright. Blammo. Get another crew report here? It does. Alright. Cool beans, man. How much did we get out of that? Let's see. Recover. 30. Nice. That's much better. Or 29. I guess we already had some of that, but let's see what we can unlock now. What's going to be the most valuable thing to unlock? We have exactly 30, so I think I can afford... Well, I can't afford that, so forget that. Can't afford that. And I can't afford that, so I guess we'll go this route. What do we got? Sepratron. Boosters. Bunch of rocket engines. Well, it would be good to have a more variety of engines anyway, so let's do that. And then that, what did that also open up? More engines. Alright, cool beans. So, I guess what we should try to do is redesign this thing to get up to a much higher altitude now. So, I think what we'll do, get rid of all this stuff. And I'm going to make a short stage here. We'll keep that. Let's do some staging stuff. It's going to be a big, hopefully a big leap forward in our rocket design. So how much fuel does that hold? Well, let's not use the orange one just because it looks silly. It is a silly thing. I guess I could replace those parts with a couple of these, but whatever. So what did we get out of that? Which engine is currently on here? We got 120. What's the ISP though? Where is that listed on here? Engine, maximum thrust, 400 in vacuum. I think what we'll do is put one of these smaller engines on this stage. Do that. Which is the most thrustiest of these ones? Probably this. Maximum thrust, 230. Yeah. With that. And then we need our radial decouplers again. And actually I don't ever build my boosters with symmetry on. I turn symmetry off. It's way easier. So that's a separation booster. So many parts to learn. Well, that's the big boy. Let's go with the big boy. Did you really not attach properly here? There you go. Kinda. See what this thing can do. This ought to do something, I would think. So we have main engine needs to be down there. These all look good. Separation. Let's put the engine with the separation. What's this final separation here? That's just, yeah, that's just the pod. Okay. I believe that's correct. Hopefully we'll find out. See what this thing could do. I didn't put any aerodynamic nose cones on. Oh well. Alright, she's speedy. Getting some weight up here now. That's good. And like I usually do, I'm just gonna go straight up until I'm sure there's nothing interesting with it. I'm just going to go straight up until we reach separation here, because it's kind of dangerous trying to turn with the solid rocket boosters. Start turning, see what we get. Alright, let's take a look at the map. Oh, good. We might make orbit, actually. There's a lot of fuel. I think I am going to make orbit. That's good news. Start getting some speed going here. And we're just going to do a very low orbit if we do an orbit. We should be able to get some crew reports from over different biomes and stuff. Let's go for it. Did we just run out of fuel in this section? We sure did. Let's get a little bit more out of this. I know that we're going to quite make orbit, but it's going to be close. Let's get swung down where we need to go. And does the goo have anything interesting to say? No, it doesn't really. No, do not deploy the chute. That's not worth anything. Alrighty. So I'm going to start burning probably right about there. I'm not going to set up a maneuver node or anything. I'm just kind of feeling this. And let's take a look at the fuel. See what we can get out of this thing. And it's going to be kind of scary to go too... Yeah, we're not going to make orbit, I don't think. We don't have the fuel quite. It'd be scary to push this too far, because I don't want to get to the point where I don't have enough fuel to return. Because that would not be cool. I guess we'd have to send up a rescue mission. I don't have life support set up or anything, so it's not like he's going to die up here, but... Yeah, not going to quite make orbit. Darn it. It's going to be darn close, though. Gotta push those engines a little harder, or redesign. Should probably add another fuel tank or something, and another solid rocket booster. But we are increasing that more than I would like to. Oh, man. Wait until we approach this again. Probably actually burn once I get a little past it, in fact. Burn right on the nose here, because we can lose a little bit of this altitude and not have to worry. And I do want to watch my periapsis, because I don't want to get just outside of the atmosphere, which I think I could easily do. Let's push it up to the upper limits and see how much fuel we have. Alright, so we actually should be in a good orbit now. Cool. So that actually went better than I thought it would. So that means we should have enough, since it's only a couple thousand meters, to return still. I guess we'll keep that. And you want to do a crew report while you're up here, man? If I can click on your cabin, that is. Alright, so I'm just going to spend some time orbiting pretty much now, and we'll be back in a little bit when we see what happens. Well, unfortunately, I just realized I was going to try to do an EVA, but those parachutes are still over the hatch, so I can't. That's too bad, because we could have gotten an EVA report, but still haven't gotten too much science out of all this. Alright, well, we're more or less at the point where we've done an orbit, and it's time to return, so I need to flip this thing around. I'm going to try to land in this. I'm not going to be able to land in this desert, but we're at basically our high point in our orbit, our apoapsis, coming up. So it's not going to take a lot to adjust this back to get down into the atmosphere. Hopefully we'll have just about enough fuel to do it. So I don't see why we wouldn't. Let's go ahead and burn. As long as... See, we're already back in the atmosphere. This guy's coming home easily. I don't want to land on the dark side, though. Let's just stop there and warp around. I'm doing another burn on the dark side of the planet here. I'm going to try to bring us down on the other side. I'm not sure how that's going to work out. That's going to be way deep in the atmosphere there. I think that's probably good, because we're in the atmosphere now, so we're just going to be braking and braking and braking. So that ought to work out. Got a couple orbits in. Not a lot of science out of this, unfortunately. We have to get more aggressive, I guess, in our science gathering. Probably send a mission up north again, that sort of stuff. I don't know how many biomes there actually even are on Kerbal, but I know that you get soil samples, you get different information from each of the biomes, so it'd be good to do. I really do need to move this parachute too, because it's not helping my cause here having that parachute there. I could just put them on the side right above those goo containers and get the same effect pretty much. So I'm going to launch another one of these and redesign that for sure, because it's costing me a lot of science here, to be honest. Once we get around to the light side and I have a better idea of where we're coming down, I'll ditch this section here. It's pretty much done. I just might want to make a final fine-tuning to come down a little sooner or whatever. So we'll see what we can get out of it. I hate time warping around the planet like this. It takes forever. Come on, man. I also don't like not having any lights of any sort, because it's can't see much. Well, that's nice. Nice little sunrise going on. Good day. We gotta start getting other guys besides Bill to go on these missions, though. It's ridiculous. So, I think I want the extra weight of this right now until we kind of get deeper in the atmosphere to help us push through this air so that we get a little bit more distance out, because actually I should probably just brake, because I want to try to land somewhere. We're gonna end up in the ocean if I don't do something here. Might as well just use up the fuel we got. That's all the fuel we got, so I actually do want to stop here. And how much was that worth? 2.3. Let's go ahead and try to redo this, see if we get anything better out of it. 1.5, great. Yeah, that really improved the situation. We'll wait until we get into our re-entry effects again. Maybe I'll be able to deploy this in the water. Okay, let's wait until we get up to a pretty good temperature here. It's already losing temperature again. We'll keep that for now. It's better than nothing. Darn it, we're not going to land. We're just going to land in the stupid water again, I think. Let's go ahead and use this as a drogue chute. Try to get this slowed down a little bit. I don't really want to deploy everything. Well, we'll just deploy everything. Try to land. I don't think we're going to drop quite down enough, though, are we? Nope. Well, maybe. It's going to be right on the shore. It's not going to be far offshore if it is offshore. Yeah, it's going to be in this little lagoon, I think. Not that he can get out of here, like I said, anyway. I think the hatch is right there or something. This would have been a perfect spot to land. I could have gotten some soil samples along the beach. Darn it. I'm going to have to fix that design. A lot of redesigning, a lot of rethinking things, because like I said, mods have changed. I have to get science now. Things are different. And we did land on land. How cool is that? Still no interesting crew reports, though. Let's go ahead. Come on. Go faster. Is it a little paranoid to have the 2 parachutes? Yes, but I don't care. Touchdown, you jerk. I wonder if he'll just like explode. No, he's going to say the hatch is blocked is what he'll say. That's annoying. Alright, let's see if the goo container does anything different here. Mystery goo. Yeah, it's better. And let's get a crew report if we can. Sure. And you can't get out, can you? Nope. Alright, well, I guess I'm going to end it here for the day. We'll call it good for the day. When I come back, I'm going to do some rocket designing on off-screen, try to get some stuff working better. So hopefully we'll get some more science and get to bigger and better things. See you next time.